grow in the future. In the world of technology, some numbers are so large they lose all meaning. Trillions of dollars, billions of parameters. But in early 2025, one number cut through the noise. $6 million. That's the price of a luxury apartment in New York. It's also, apparently, the price to break a $3 trillion industry. A small Chinese startup named DeepSeek announced they had built an AI that could rival Google and OpenAI's best for less than what most companies spend on office snacks. The question isn't just how, it's whether this was an act of genius or the greatest technological heist in history. To understand the shockwave, you have to understand the game. For years, the AI race was a billionaire's sport. The price of entry wasn't just talent, it was a mountain of cash. Companies like Google and Microsoft were pouring fortunes into building digital brains, and one company sat at the center of it all: Nvidia. Their specialized chips, their GPUs, became the digital shovels in a new gold rush. Their stock soared over 300% in 2 years. The rule was simple: if you wanted to build powerful AI, you paid the king. This created a fortress around Silicon Valley. The belief was that only American tech giants had the resources to compete. The barrier to entry wasn't just high, it was a vertical wall of capital. This monopoly on cutting-edge AI was considered a core pillar of U.S. technological dominance, a fact of life. That is, until a single app appeared on the global charts and set that fact on fire. That app was DeepSeek R1. Released with little fanfare, it quietly climbed to the top of download charts worldwide. Then, the market noticed. Panic ignited. In a matter of days, Nvidia's stock plummeted 17%, erasing a staggering $250 billion of value. For context, that's like the entire economy of Portugal vanishing. Legendary investor Peter Thiel, a man who built his fortune betting on the future, liquidated his entire $100 million stake in Nvidia. The giants were bleeding, and everyone wanted to know who held the knife. The answer was DeepSeek's method. It wasn't just a clever copy, it was a fundamental reinvention. Think of it this way: a traditional AI model, like the ones from Google, is like a massive ancient library. To answer a single, simple question, the librarian is forced to read every single book on every single shelf. It's incredibly powerful, but it's astronomically slow and expensive. DeepSeek didn't build a bigger library. They built a council of experts. Their method, a form of inference time computing, is radically different. When you ask it a question about history, only the history expert wakes up to answer. The physics, chemistry, and art experts remain asleep, consuming no power. This is why their model only needs to perform 37 billion calculations to operate, not the trillions required by their rivals. They weren't using more brute force, they were using surgical precision. Google built their skyscraper with a mountain of cash. DeepSeek built a taller one with a suitcase of money. And that realization is what sent Wall Street into a tailspin. This isn't just corporate drama, it's a paradigm shift that affects everyone. For years, the immense cost of AI development guaranteed a U.S.-led monopoly. That fortress has now been breached. The idea that only Silicon Valley can produce top-tier AI is officially dead. This means fierce, global competition. And for you, that's incredible news. It signals the end of the $20 a month subscription model as the only option. When the power to build a digital brain is no longer a billion-dollar privilege, but a million-dollar possibility, everything changes. Startups, universities, and even individuals in their garages can now build powerful, specialized tools. The gatekeepers have lost the key. But the impact is far larger than our wallets. This is a geopolitical earthquake. China has openly pledged $1.4 trillion to its AI sector. DeepSeek isn't an accident. It's the first major shot in a technological Cold War. The global balance of power is being rewritten in code. But before we declare a new world order, there's a healthy dose of skepticism. Is the $6 million price tag actually real? China's tech sector has a history of ambitious claims, often fueled by massive, hidden state subsidies. That $1.4 trillion national fund isn't just for show. It's possible DeepSeek's real cost is much higher, cleverly disguised as a startup's miracle. They may not be a scrappy underdog, but a state-sponsored champion in disguise. This disruption is also happening inside what many analysts are calling a dangerous AI bubble. Companies are taking on enormous debt to fund their AI ambitions. A sudden dramatic drop in the cost to build this technology could pop that bubble, triggering a wider market crash. DeepSeek may have democratized AI, but they might have also just lit the fuse on a financial time bomb. So what we're left with is a fractured picture. The age of the billion-dollar AI is over. DeepSeek, whether through sheer genius or state-backed strategy, has shattered the illusion of Silicon Valley's invincibility. This opens the door to a future of cheaper, more accessible, and more diverse artificial intelligence for all of us. But it also marks the beginning of an era of intense, high-stakes geopolitical competition. One thing is certain: the world just changed, and it only cost $6 million. The next few years will define the future of this technology. If you want to understand the forces shaping our world, subscribe for more deep dives that cut through the noise. Thanks for watching.